Hello Virgo, and welcome to your June 2016 General Tarot Card Read. Dee here along with my dear friend Miss Lucy.
Hello.
Well, Virgo, interesting. Quite an interesting month. So keep in mind, Virgo, that this is a general read.
Yes,
If
it
for
is.
some reason it doesn't resonate with you, then please look at your rising sign. Also, with that being said, we have 3 different reads for you. And wow, usually we draw 5 cards, but for some reason we were told this time to draw 6 for you. And we also drew 2 oracle cards. We have the 2 cards that we use for the month for overall from your yearly review for the month of June. So with that being said, let's go. And we'll probably actually stop the tape at one point, do another picture, because the picture that it's the beginning is actually the 2 different spreads. And then by the time we do the next one, it's like one big long line. So you'll get to see what it's like then. All right. So I get to start this time. Usually it's Lucy, but for some reason I get to start. So the card I pulled for the month is the Knight of Cups. Now the Knight of Cups is about unexpected pleasant times. It's about a lot of energy. It's about emotions feel like they're going wild. If you see the horse in this one, he's just like totally reared up and going. So there's going to be a lot of good emotional things going on for you this month. At times you're going to feel like your emotions are taking away with you, but keep that in mind as you go through the month for this particular read. Okay. The first card I received is the Hierophant. Now the Hierophant is the counterpart to the High Priestess, who actually, she deals with more of an inner wisdom type of a thing, whereas the Hierophant deals more with religious institutions. And usually with this card, it usually means that you need to be seeking out your higher power. You need to be looking toward a religious institution of your religion's choice to get advice that you need to get through the month. And I truly believe that that's the case for you guys for this particular read. There's some situations coming up. In fact, for some of you, you may be even questioning your faith and things, but don't be afraid to seek out somebody that is like a priest to you, or somebody that you feel comfortable enough to discuss some of the esoterical and spiritual matters that are going on right now for you in your life. Then on top of reinforcing the fact that we got the Knight of Cups, we got the Knight of Cups again. So there is a lot of emotional energy this month for you. And in some ways, now the thing about this card is that the horse is going a different way than what the rider is. The rider is looking the one way and the horse is going the other. And he's holding his cup and he's ready to move forward, but the horse is going, hey, wait a minute. So for some of you, this might be fighting for what you believe in and what you're passionate about. So keep that in mind. There's going to be a lot of enthusiasm about it. You might even feel like you have to fight somebody for it, but don't. Just keep your emotions in check. Go ahead and fight for what you're passionate about, but do it in a way where you're not beating somebody up. Okay? And that totally segues into the next card, which is Strength. Now, Strength is about taking the inner beast in you and walking in gentleness with it. You are the one controlling it, but you're not to the point where you're manipulating it to do your will. So keep that in mind. You've got a lot of emotions coming up. Just keep yourself as balanced as possible. Don't overreact or sometimes even underreact. Just kind of keep yourself in check as much as possible when it comes to this. And as I do this, I get this might be more with relationships and work, but I get mostly relationships, that for some of you, you're going to be confronted with the relationships in your life, especially with such a big, strong lead with the Knight of Cups and us getting it twice. Okay. The next card I pulled is the Eight of Wands. Yeah. Okay. Now the Eight of Wands is about communication. It's about speed. It's about change. So there's going to be a lot of emotional stuff coming at you at a really fast pace. Again, you got the push from the Knight and fighting for what you're passionate about, and then trying to get your inner strength together so that, again, you're going to have all these changes come fast. For some of you, it's actually going to mean travel. And it might be where you're actually traveling to somebody that brings out the emotional part in you. So keep that in mind as you're going through this particular energy. Don't let it sweep you away. Just kind of go with it and keep yourself balanced as much as possible.
Okay, me too.
That's fine. The next card that I received is the Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords is about your intellect, and it's about shutting down the stuff around you and meditating, contemplating, centering yourself, grounding yourself. It's peaceful in a way because it's a choice. even though these swords are around you, you still have the one at your feet, and you're, in a way, it's a protection type of a thing. So I really feel that all that energy is going to make you want to kind of get swept up in the moment, but you need to take the time to sit down and center yourself, contemplate, ground yourself, look at what you need to do for you, and get rest before you move on to the situation, because the last card that I received was the Star. Now, for some of you, this relationship, things that you're going through are actually going to be an answer. It'll be like a hope and a dream that you've always looked for. For some of you too, the Star is about cleansing and renewal. And it's about taking the good stuff and going, oh, and allowing all your cups to overflow into the water around you. And for some of you, this is going to be a cleansing time and a renewal time in your relationships. So for me, this particular spread is all about relationships for the pretty much part of it, and keeping yourself as centered and grounded as possible. Don't let your emotions run away with you, but you will get what you've been hoping for at the end of the month with you. Okay, now we're going to do Lucy's spread. We'll start with hers.
Okay,
overall card.
My overall card is the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups here is about choices, and a strong will is needed to make these choices, to overcome the distractions of your imagination and the things that are just not realistic for you to even consider, okay? So that's the pull-in. You have choices to make. You need to be strong to make those choices. Next is the King of Wands. The King of Wands here is focused and determined and driven in this card. Honest and trustworthy. He also can be a mediator. Now, this card indicates that your attention is on something already now, and it's being channeled into a venture, or maybe even it might indicate a relationship. Your attention is in full focus. Your skill and everything in you is directed towards this venture. The caution here is to not be so centered and focused that you think your way is the only way. And don't become bossy in this situation. Take advice if it's given and needed. Okay. Next is strength. Now again, it's the same as the other. This is all about your inner resources here. It's about your baser instincts. As you can see, she's walking with her inner instincts, her baser instincts. She's not dragging them along. She's not being pulled along with them. She's walking in confidence and courage with her inner self. So that's the advice here. Learn to live with your inner self. Learn to control your baser instincts and use them when they're appropriate, but only when they're appropriate. Don't go overboard. Don't be vicious, in other words, okay? Don't tear somebody down just because you can do it. That's not the right way to live your life, okay? And again, I have the Seven of Cups. Again, here, the message is to stay on course, of course. Stay on your path. Don't be distracted by the fantasies. One over here, one over there. Take your inspiration. Use it to move forward on the path that you have chosen. Now, the Four of Cups. This young man or young person is sitting there looking to the pie in the sky, not to the gifts he has surrounding him. So the message here is, don't lose sight of what is important to you. Don't take for granted the gifts that you already have for some fantasy that may never come your way. Hold on to your healthy ideals that guide and shape your life. Live within your reality.
The grass isn't always greener on the other side.
No, it's not.
I keep getting that as you're saying that.
Yeah. Now, the hanging man is hanging for a purpose, okay? He's there to give him a new perspective. So what this card lets you know is he's making a sacrifice. He's hanging there for a reason. You need to know yourself and what you are willing to sacrifice in your life. what you are willing to give to it, but not give yourself away, okay? Be true to yourself, be clear about who you are and what you can sacrifice in this life and still stay true to yourself. The most important thing is to be able to live your life, to be honest with yourself and your intentions. Don't make excuses for your misbehavior. Be the person that you are meant to be. And then we have the Queen of Cups. Now, the Queen of Cups is all about the heart, okay? She's giving, she's generous. She is there when she is needed. You need to be there when you're needed. Pay attention to your heart. But don't let your emotions overshadow reality of your life. That's what you have to live with, okay? Let people make mistakes, because sometimes that's the only way we learn, is when we make our mistakes. Don't smother your loved ones, even though you want to.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Don't overprotect them, because growth can come from pain, and it usually does. Okay. That's about it.
So I'm going to go ahead and take a picture and put it in here now so that you guys can see what the other read's going to look like. So Lucy hates it when I say, by the way, we're supposed to draw an extra one, or by the way. She just loves it. She's like, oh no. But this one was very interesting, because as we were putting them together, we both saw this in a long story. And this one, I think, is not as general. I think this is for someone specific. I don't know, though. I could be wrong. You'll be able to listen to it and kind of decide for your own. And if you need to refer back to the picture that was taken so you can see it, that'd be great.
It could fit several people. I mean,
Yeah.
and it really could.
Yeah, because it's like a story. And it's funny because normally we don't have a story, but this is definitely a story. And I think that this involves romance, it involves creativity, it involves your emotions, it involves your thinking process, and let's just start. So the combined cards that we got for the month, for the whole month, is the Knight of Cups and the Seven of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, well, no. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
It's hard because this is such a convoluted read, but it's good. So you have the energy again from the Knight of Cups pulling into the Seven of Cups. It's all about that emotion and that push and fighting for what you believe in, and then the choices that you have to make. And I really feel that this has to do with relationships for you for the month. You need to enjoy that energy and that push and the celebration time, but yet be clear in your choice that you've made.
Yes.
The grass, I keep getting the grass isn't always greener on the other side.
No, it's not always
I keep
greener.
getting that, and you need to keep that in mind as you have this push with your emotional push and all
Stay
that.
on your path.
So I'm going to pull the two at a time, but realize that this is in a line. So
Yep.
the Hierophant into the King of Wands. The Hierophant, again, being somebody who is a religious person, and the King of Wands having all of these things at his beck and call, and knowing who he is. He's probably one of the most confident of the kings. And it's funny because it's almost like you need to seek the wisdom of somebody that's very similar to the King of Wands. But then I see you using that you have all the power and the stuff inside of you. It's just a matter of getting clarification.
Yes.
And seeking the higher self for you, because you need to, and who your higher power is.
Take
because,
advice when needed.
yeah. And keep that in mind. You may think you know everything, but you don't always.
Right. No,
and it's okay to do that. It's not a matter of pride.
Your
and
way
then
is not the only way.
that flows into strength, and it's knowing yourself, who you are in the middle of all of this, and not letting your animal instincts take a hold of you. Because again, you are really you've got a lot of choices this month.
Yeah, you have a choice to make, or choices to make. You may have more than one.
Yeah.
Okay, so take your inspiration where you can find it. Acknowledge the distractions, but don't let them lead you from your path. You will know the answer when you find it. You will know the direction when you find it. Okay?
And I truly believe that for somebody, this isn't about an affair. You're thinking about having an affair. And I'm going to just kind of speak it out because I kept getting it just same as the grass isn't always greener on the other side. I keep seeing this, so I got to speak it out. You need to think about this, and you need to not let your beast instincts take over to where you're making wrong decisions. You have to stay true to yourself, though, and
Don't
that
look
being in
for
mind.
distraction.
Right. Because you've got a lot of emotional push again from the Knight of Cups and that feeling where you need to fight for what you believe in, but yet your horse is wanting to go the other way because it sees some danger up ahead. And I keep seeing that. This one feels more like a danger of an emotional nature and all that energy and all that push. So keep your strength in mind as you do this. Don't let the beast rule you. You need to be gentle, but you need to go for what you want, but you need to do it in such a way where you're not hurting other people around you, especially with all this emotional energy behind it. So stay true to yourself. And then, this is so interesting because you've got all that inner strength, but then you've got that apathetical attitude. And it's, again, you've got it followed up by this huge amount of energy. And this apathetical attitude makes you fantasize and dream about something that's not really there.
Well, the caution here in this card is don't do that.
Yeah.
Be grateful for the gifts. Be thankful for the gifts you have. Appreciate the gifts that you have. Don't be distracted. Don't let distractions get to you. Don't be distracted.
And I will see that there's somebody literally being handed something. You've got something already in your hand and you're just ignoring it because you're apathetical about it.
Yeah.
And
the healthy ideals will guide your life.
Right. And then again, this is all about communication. I think there's going to be some communication and travel involved in this emotional decision that you need to make. But then you pair it up with these two. Four of Swords, having the internal contemplation and really looking at yourself, along with the Hangman. And it's choosing to hang yourself upside down, to step back away from the situation and look at it. And you really need to do that before you make a decision.
Yep.
Because the next two cards...
It's about knowing when and what to sacrifice.
Right. But the next two cards talk about your hopes and your dreams. And I really feel that there's somebody that this is involved in a Queen of Cups for them. They have somebody in their life that they're in a relationship now with somebody that might even be a Queen of Cups. And they need to be able to have that, have the same characteristics. But they're already there. And you can make your hope and dream. If you just see what you've got and be grateful for what you have.
That's it. That's a caution.
Yeah. See
to the needs of your heart.
Right. And don't totally stamp it out just because you think something's better on the other end, because it's usually not. Yeah. It's, we all make choices and we choose. Even when it comes to love, at times you may think, oh, I can't, I got so wrapped up in it, blah, blah, blah. But love is a choice. And when you're dealing with relationships, sometimes it's hard work. And then we pull into this, which I thought was very interesting because this is one of the oracle cards, and it talks about reckless actions that lead to conflict. Don't be reckless in what you're doing and when you're dealing with people, because when you are reckless and not staying true to who you are and everything too, it's just gonna cause fire in your life. I just keep seeing that fire. So I just see it as a caution more than anything. Okay, so Lucy's going to read the oracle card that we've got, and we'll wrap up this read.
It's called Spirit of Place. Our ancient ancestors believed that every place has a spirit looking after it or embodying it, just as we have a soul. The plants, trees, birds, mountains, and rivers have their own essences. When the Spirit of Place arrives in your reading, it says that the answer to your query is in the overreaching theme of your circumstance. Is your question about a struggle? The answer is to relax and let go of your need to control the situation. If your inquiry relates to finding love, then embody love rather than long for it. Once you find the essential truth that underlies your question, then name it. You'll discover the answer you've been seeking. Your greatest power is in your authenticity.
So stay true to yourself, but yet don't lie to yourself.
Yes.
You got to be honest with yourself, and you got to look at everything about this, and you need to make your choice wisely. And don't be afraid to go talk to somebody about this, because you've got a lot of push and a lot of energy and a lot of emotions wrapped up in this. that it's just getting to where you can't see straight, I think, for some of you.
So, yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Especially for this, so.
Yeah. Or caught up in the emotion. Don't let the
yeah.
emotion rule you.
And it's easy to do. In fact,
Yeah.
you know, you might even think, oh, I've met somebody and I need to go visit them and, oh, we're going to get all emotional, blah, blah, blah. But I'm really feeling that you're not supposed to. You know, you need to just sit back and look at what you've got, contemplate, and really stay true to yourself and think about that. And if there's something in a relationship that's lacking and you want love, embody love. That's what you have to do. You have to show it, and you have to step outside of yourself sometimes and to put the actions behind the words.
Yes.
Okay. That was pretty heavy. I know. Sorry about that. But it's important when we get this big of a push and a big of a read, we need to be able to do that. So if you guys like what you've heard, go ahead and hit the like button. If you're new to us, hello, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. We hope you found a home here with us. And if there's anything we can do to help, just let us know. In the meantime, walk in peace, light, and love. And we will be talking to you next month.
Goodbye.